The hours after a child's birth are precious, exciting, fun, and at times overwhelming. Parents have important knowledge, experiences, and instincts that prepare them for parenthood. However, new mothers and fathers often have questions about their baby and the care of their newborn. Jan Tedder, a family nurse practitioner and lactation consultant, has provided care to young families for decades. Because she believes that a baby can be a parent's best teacher, she works to help parents understand newborn behavior and babies' special ways of communicating. Though newborns can't say what they want, you can learn how to tune into your baby's body language. Watching this video will help you and your family better understand your baby's behavior, help you feel closer to your baby, and help you take better care of your baby in the months ahead. Most parents have 3 important questions about their baby. How do I help my baby eat and sleep well? How do I calm my baby? And how do I play with my newborn so that he or she can learn and grow? 2 skills will help you take care of your baby. The first parent skill is learning what zone your baby is in, how awake, or how fussy, or how sleepy the baby is. Babies have 3 zones. They have their resting zone, which is their sleeping zone. They have their ready zone when the baby is ready to eat or ready to play. And babies have their rebooting zone, which is their fussing or crying zone, when parents' help is especially needed. The word rebooting reminds us of our computer. Sometimes a computer can be processing so much information at once that it will reboot. And a baby sometimes takes in so much information, either from the outside world or from inside her body, that she becomes overwhelmed with too much stimulation. The second parent skill is recognizing when your baby sends out an SOS. SOS stands for Sign of Overstimulation. All newborns are at times overstimulated as they adjust to being out in the world. Babies born early SOS more often. The first way babies send out an SOS is with changes in their body's skin color, movement, and breathing. This baby, who was born a few weeks early, shows these body SOSs. See how his face turns a bit red in color? His muscles jerk and shake, and his breathing gets faster. The second way babies send out an SOS is with changes in their behavior, spacing out, switching off, and shutting down. This baby demonstrates the first behavioral SOS, spacing out. Watch as Jan plays with the baby by shaking a rattle. The baby begins to look like she is staring into space. Spacing out is a sign of overstimulation. This baby demonstrates the second behavioral SOS, switching off, described in the medical literature as gaze aversion. The harder the mother tries to get the baby's attention, the more the baby looks the other way. This switching off is a sign that the baby is trying to manage the amount of stimulation she takes in. Mothers are relieved to learn what this behavior means, and that it is not a sign that the baby is rejecting her. This baby demonstrates the third behavioral SOS, shutting down. Again, we see Jan playing with a baby. Though the baby is momentarily engaged with this play, she soon begins to get drowsy and shuts down as a response to too much stimulation. When you notice your baby having an SOS, you wonder how to help. You can respond to an SOS by decreasing stimulation and increasing support of your baby. Decrease stimulation by speaking quietly to the overstimulated baby. Increase support by holding your baby's hands against his chest or gently swaying him. Putting your baby skin to skin or breastfeeding him will also decrease that SOS.
This is little Maria, who's now 2 weeks old, but she has a special story because she decided to come into this world 4 weeks early.
Well, of course, because I've had 4 kids, I kind of know what to expect. And in the hospital, she just had little tics where she would jerk or her eyes would roll in the back of her head, and she would just fall asleep at the drop of a dime, and we would change her clothes or weigh her even, the startle reflex would just be really too much for her. She would turn beet red and scream, and just it seemed so traumatic. Next, you explained to me about premature babies being overstimulated and how they can shut down to keep from processing that information so it doesn't overstimulate them. They kind of shut down, and you gave me some information that showed me how to keep her from going to be overstimulated.
Here she is at only 2 weeks old, and she is already way past her birth weight.
So yeah, this is 6 months later. With Miss Tedder's help, we learned how to keep our babies comfortable and how to make sure that we don't overstimulate our babies. And because of that, we have a 6-month-old superstar. When I tell people she's a preemie, they just laugh and say, yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you have so much to say. Dad.
The first few weeks of your baby's life are important for the baby and the mother to learn to breastfeed, and for the mother to build up her milk supply. Research confirms that putting the baby skin to skin immediately after birth and bringing the baby to the breast within the first hour of birth facilitate the bonding experience and promote effective breastfeeding. A newborn has special ways to communicate that she is hungry. She might bring her hand up to her mouth, smack her lips, or wiggle and squirm like this when she is ready to eat. Because a woman's breasts do not feel different immediately after birth, some women worry that they do not have enough milk. However, the birth of your baby initiates important changes in your hormones and breasts, changes that provide exactly the nourishment your baby needs. On day 1 and 2, mother's first milk, colostrum, contains important body-building proteins and antibodies to fight infection. Since a newborn's stomach is the size of a marble, he eats only about a teaspoon at each feeding. Fortunately, colostrum is very concentrated and perfect for your newborn. By day 3, mother's mature milk comes in, and the baby's stomach increases from the size of a marble to the size of a ping pong ball. Now your baby will eat up to 1 ounce at a time, and will eat frequently for a day or two as mother's milk supply develops. Adding water or any formula unless medically necessary can interfere with this process. As mother's milk supply grows and your baby learns to breastfeed, a more predictable pattern of feeding every 2 to 3 hours will emerge. Your newborn's behavior may initially be confusing to you. New parents often wonder whether their baby is going to sleep or is having a shutting down SOS. Look at this baby. Her face is relaxed. There is no tension around her eyes or mouth. Her skin color is uniform. However, the baby on the right is demonstrating the shutting down SOS. He looks like he is squeezing his eyes shut. There seems to be tension around his mouth and eyes, and the color on his forehead is not uniform. This overstimulated baby needs to be comforted skin to skin in order to get back to the ready zone to eat. You will want to watch for SOSs and avoid overstimulating your baby as you breastfeed. Many mothers are surprised to learn about a special hormone released in both the baby and the mother as she breastfeeds. This hormone relaxes the mother and can cause newborns to get sleepy while nursing. If your newborn falls asleep after breastfeeding a short while, mother can put the baby skin to skin. In about 10 minutes, this hormone level drops, and your baby will often wake up to complete her meal. You will be reassured to know that breastfeeding is going well when your baby regains her birth weight by 2 weeks of age, when your baby continues to gain 4 to 7 ounces a week, and when your baby has several wet diapers and 3 to 6 stools a day. Most parents find the rebooting, fussing, and crying zone especially challenging. I'm cold, I'm tired, I can't wake up, I can't get to sleep. It's helpful to know about the normal crying pattern of newborns. 2 weeks after their due date, many babies start crying more. This normal increase in crying peaks when the baby is about 6 weeks old and then starts to decrease over the next few weeks. If a baby is born 2 weeks early, he will increase his crying at about 4 weeks old. His crying will peak at about 8 weeks and then start to decrease. A crying newborn should initially be considered a hungry baby and be put to the breast for feeding. Skin-to-skin care is an effective way both to calm the newborn and to enhance breastfeeding during those first early weeks. Once breastfeeding is well established, parents with a crying baby often say, "Just tell me what to do." As you watch your baby respond to your efforts to comfort her, you will soon discover how best to help her calm down. First, try talking quietly to your baby. Research shows that babies respond best to quiet, melodic, repetitive sounds. This mother notices that when she calls her baby's name, the baby decreases her crying and begins to calm down. Second, wait a moment and observe how the baby responds to your voice.
Are you waking up?
Maybe the baby will bring her hand to her mouth or try to suck her fingers. Babies sometimes move into the fencing pose, a common newborn reflex. With her head turned to the left, her right arm and leg bend and her left leg extends. When her left arm extends into the fencing pose, she is able to focus on her hand, which helps to keep her calm. If your baby continues to cry, do actions are needed.
It's great. So when you hold her hands like this helps her calm down. That was very good, yeah.
This father watches his baby calm with a gentle sway. And of course, many mothers learn that wearing the baby or putting the baby to the breast will calm their babies. Some babies need even more help, though. Lactation specialists caution that swaddling the newborn interferes with breastfeeding. However, once breastfeeding is well established, swaddling an older baby for a few minutes can help to calm the child. Parents who choose to swaddle their baby will want to follow guidelines for safe swaddling.
A little swaddle and a little swing. That's right. Yeah, that calms me down.
Having learned about her baby's zones and SOSs, and how to help her baby eat well and calm down, this mother wonders how to help her baby sleep well. She is surprised to learn that babies have 2 types of sleep: still deep sleep and active light sleep. This baby shows us what still deep sleep looks like. Her body is still. She surprises her mother by not responding to any stimulation. There is no movement of her eyes and her eyelids stay shut. Her breathing is deep and regular and she makes no sounds. Every hour or so, a newborn will transition from this still deep sleep to active light sleep. This baby is in active light sleep. Her eyes might flash open. She puckers her mouth, makes sucking movements, vocalizes, and can even smile. But this baby is not waking up. She is just transitioning from her still deep sleep to her active light sleep. In only a few minutes, we observe that she transitions back to still deep sleep. Her parents are delighted to learn that important brain development occurs during the active light sleep cycle. As previously mentioned, wiggling and squirming in the newborn is an early sign of hunger. However, when the baby is a few weeks old and breastfeeding is well established, as it is with this baby, a mother can watch her baby wiggle and squirm for a few minutes to see if her baby is waking up or if he is in active light sleep. This well-fed baby transitions from active light sleep back to still deep sleep and stays asleep for a longer period of time. All families are excited to learn about their baby's abilities and about ways to help them play and engage with the world around them.
Look at him smiling.
Notice how Jan moves her head slowly as she demonstrates a baby's remarkable ability to look at and follow her face.
Babies' eyes move very slowly. They move a little bit and stop, then they move a little bit and stop. That's normal.
Mothers learn that babies focus best about 10 inches from their faces. As this mother plays with her baby, she discovers that he sees the toy best when it is moved slowly. Research confirms that face-to-face interaction with parents is necessary for healthy brain growth and long-term emotional development. Babies take 3 steps as they learn to interact with their parents. This baby demonstrates the first step babies take as they learn to interact. He gets quiet and still when his mother calls his name. This baby demonstrates the second step. When her mother calls her name, she turns in mother's direction. And this baby shows the final step to paying attention. She not only turns in the direction of her mother's voice, she also looks at her face. Parents are surprised to learn how sensitive a baby can be to a family's feelings. This 1-week-old is relaxed as his mother smiles at him. The same baby enjoys the loving attention of his father and sister. However, when this loving father is asked to experiment with an angry expression, see how quickly the baby seems distressed. Gags and looks away. Noticing your baby's response to the world around her will bring you closer to your baby and increase your ability to help her grow and learn. Being a new parent brings tremendous joy, immense satisfaction, and sometimes unexpected questions about how to care for your newborn. Your family, friends, and healthcare professionals have much to offer, but your baby can be your greatest teacher. Understanding your baby's zones and SOSs makes your job as a parent easier and more fulfilling. Calming your baby and responding to her eating and sleeping needs helps you feel closer to her. And playing with your baby lets you appreciate her remarkable capabilities. Utilizing the tips and techniques shared in this video will boost your confidence as a new parent, help you meet your breastfeeding goals, and give you skills to help you grow together in the days and years ahead.